definitive word on Kiryu showing up in fighting games. Not from Harada, but from
Nagoshi.
Nagoshi this time. Says he's apprehensive about putting Kiryu in fighting games because generally fighting games have female characters, and personally, I don't really want to see Kiryu beating up women. Question mark. Again, as someone who's played this franchise.
I can answer this question.
Not once?
Not once. Asterix. All right. So, the only reason Kiryu can be said to have never beaten up any women's is because the only women's he ever slapped in the face was in fact a little girl, which classifies her as a child type first. So if you look up Kiryu slaps Haruka, you will see a big fucking open hand like slap, just kabow, because she was freaking out, and he was like, "Shut up."
So he disciplines a child.
Yeah,
he doesn't.
He had
fight
just
a woman.
met that child. Also, it should be noted that was in Yakuza 1, where Kiryu was more of a scumbag. However, so here's the thing, right? Kiryu has not beat up the women's. However, there is another popular Yakuza character that you could put into a Tekken that did beat some women's. And that's Majima.
Mm-hmm.
Majima totally slapped around his ex-wife. You find that out in Yakuza 5.
Okay, now here's the question. As excited as everyone would be, would there not be an overwhelmingly angry sentiment that it's Majima and not Kiryu?
No. They're player 1 and player 2 now. They're Dante and Virgil. They're people would be cool with it. In fact, a lot of people would be like, great, because Majima's got the knife.
Interesting. Okay, I didn't realize that.
People will be stoked.
They wouldn't care
Majima
that
was
the
in
poster boy got looked over instead.
No, and in fact, you could have Majima like crawl out of a garbage can, or like a goddamn.
Well, I mean,
Tekken already has Akuma and not
so that
Ryu.
like we didn't get Ryu and we didn't get Rick, you know?
Yeah.
So that makes sense. And we didn't get Terry, but we did get Noctis.
Oh my god, when you said Rick, I'm like, Stroud?
Grimes.
And like, no, you mean Rick of Rick and Coral.
Mm-hmm. Grimes.
Whoa.
So, yeah, the poster boys don't have to make the cut. This is already hard confirmed. So that makes sense.
But Majima is also just as much of a poster boy nowadays. Like, he was a boss, and then he was a big character, and then he was a bigger character, and then he was a bigger character, and then you hit 0 where he shares 50% of that game with Kiryu.
So by that logic, there you go. You can fit him right in. But then, if you do, you don't get to have him and Kazuya having the big suit match, you know?
That's true. That's true.
So,
But Majima's dialogue would be way more interesting with all the other characters than Kiryu's would be.
interesting twist. However, I'm going to go ahead and say that this is a deconfirm.
Yeah.
If it was going to happen, it would have
Bummer.
happened. And the HBO executives are much further away from the Namco Bandai offices than
That's true.
Sega. You know?
Maybe they're saving Majima to be a guest character in Virtua Fighter, right?
So, next story.